this. That's almost like the opposite. We were talking yesterday about about downstream, upstream in respect to air, where the air is coming from, where the water is coming from, the way in which the vectors of these flows are determining gradients of urban quality. So it's almost like you would not put the industry upstream the river or upstream the air, because then you are poisoning downstream. You would put that downstream after the city. It so happens that they did it like that. So what is the solution now?
In my opinion, I thought that kind of water landscape doesn't be a solution for the future.
Exactly. But this is also it may mitigate the problem, but it sounds like the scale of the problem cannot be resolved with these kind of systems. It needs to be resolved with equally aggressive engineering, at least for, 70% of the problem. You may be able to mitigate the problem somehow, but maybe not entirely resolve it. I don't know. I will need to consider it, and probably I will need the help of experts to give you a verdict of what can be done. But it sounds like a difficult problem to resolve by resorting to these type of mechanisms. But then, you as an architect, future architect in Busan, so you finish here, you go back to Busan, you want to be an architect, you go to the city and say, I have a great idea. We should do some sort of water purifying thing to the kind of the sides of the river, so that we, at least you would be doing something. This is an idea that you can, is better to, even if it is 5% of the wastewater that you can purify by using these parks, that's worth something. It's an incremental effect that you can have. You can claim yourself as an architect doing something for the public good, as opposed to being a criminal building energy consuming and carbon emitting buildings. No?
Yeah, I agree to the opinion that it is hard to solve all the problems by doing the refits. But I think maybe like a big city like in Seoul or Shanghai, which has a really big rivers, and all city has a single river basin, I think, has a single river beds. Because in Seoul we have the big Han River, and we have also lots of streams that runs to these Han River. So maybe it could work better than other cities which is in inlands like Beijing, or small, but maybe better than Paris, because Paris has the stream, the Seine River is so small, smaller than Han River. So maybe it could work better in Seoul or Shanghai. But the idea of to make the river clear by using these, I think, the filtration, I don't think that will work that well, because if you filter the polluted water, so maybe it could use the technology like the drain tube or something, but but just using the nature to filter the polluted water, I think it will also pollute the soil in some terms.
Why?
Because I don't know, but because not all you talked about the gray water. Yeah, it is not like really polluted than Blackwater, but there would be some like polluted things in those waters. So, well, I'm not I'm not sure about it, but I don't I think it is a good solution just to use just the nature, just without like the other technologies. But to use the streams of the lots of streams around the Han River, I think just using the streams could be not a good idea just to filtrate all the polluted water.
Well, actually, thinking about that, obviously Seoul must have watersheds going into the Han River, like because the topography is very hilly. So I'm sure that you have all the streams, which I don't know whether they are still there. I mean, Cheonjecheon was one of them. I don't know what happened to the other ones.
Well, there was lots of streams that got like they built a road or like a bridge on top of it.
Yeah.
But I think because of the Cheonggyecheon got well, so lots of streams tried to make
Retrieve them,
Cheonggyecheon.
really?
Yeah. So
So this is a real thing. This is happening now.
it already happened.
It already happened.
Yes.
So there are more examples of Cheonjecheon.
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that. Also,
So,
send me examples. I mean, seriously, I'm very interested in that.
right here, there's like a Hongjaecheon. So it was actually like a dry stream, but they started to put in the purified Han River water. Okay. Look, as you know, like the Cheonggyecheon was also like kind of a dry stream for a long time. So the water from the Cheonggyecheon is not the real natural water.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So, but however, like there is a example called like it is at Gangnam District. It is called Yangjaecheon. It was really polluted, but the district government tried to purify it, and they did a good job on it. So it is different because from Cheonggyecheon because it is a real water coming from the other like mountain. So I think like as the mayor trying to make something with the Han River, like each of the districts wanted to try to make their own Cheonggyecheon or Yangjaecheon.
Yeah, but that's great. That's
so I think
exciting.
Seoul and Korea is really doing a good job on it.
That's great. That's very interesting to know. I didn't know that this was happening. And this is done.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Yangjaecheon was the construction.
Send it to me. Seriously, my email is acp@acp.com, acpml.com.
That was finished before the Cheonggyecheon. So, yeah.
Before the Cheonggyecheon, that was built.
Yes.
Wow. That's very interesting. I mean, this has to do with this. So those are projects in which you can engage. I mean, maybe these are projects that, same way for my generation, we used to do big master plans and big towers and things like that. And that was exciting and was the thing to do at the time. That was politically desirable. But maybe one of the things that you need to consider is how are you going to focus, and in what projects can you focus so that we can, as a profession, retrieve some level of credibility.
I have a question. I was wondering if a city built on water, like Venice, is more desirable in the environmental aspect than a city like Seoul we love the way it's built on land.
I don't know. I mean, I think Venice is a very rare case. Obviously, it has many other problems. I would think that intuitively it's difficult. I mean, Venice was built there because of a certain political situation, also of the duxes being connected to the control of the sea and needing to have, and also they located there because it was defensively, it was easier to defend than other places, and it had a strategic location in terms of controlling the sea. It doesn't sound effective to make cities on the water simply because water is desirable. I mean, water is desirable in this case because it infiltrates the land. To build the city on stilts on top of the water is already a kind of a natural condition, no? I mean, you would do a settlement in solid land where you can step and make buildings and so on and so forth. So building on the water is always more difficult. I mean, it happened in Gangnam and it happened in many other locations in the world because of real estate pressures or development pressures. So suddenly land that was marshland is converted into solid land by adding earth and infrastructure and retention systems to create artificially new land. But that creation of new land, I think is probably ecologically also not very recommendable, because you need to extract the land from somewhere, you need to transport the earth, you have to dump the earth, you have to build the system. So why not to go and place the city in a location where you have more solid land? No, it looks like kind of. I mean, we're talking all the time about resources. I mean, Malthus, water, and tomorrow energy, food. On Thursday, I think probably one of the things that we need to think about is what are the resources that we need to mobilize in order to construct a city or to maintain a city. And so in principle it doesn't, the fact that in traditional cities we should try to recover the aquifers doesn't mean that the cities need to be built on water. So I don't think that you can make that equation. Okay. More questions? No? What time is it? Are we 12:30? So we are a little bit early. So we have to invent something. Something to discuss.
It's not a question, but have you heard about Korean government linked the 4 big rivers?
Maybe I heard about.
Yeah, there's 2 aspects of this project. That
So what is the project? I mean, can you?
The project was there's big river in Busan and Seoul, and I don't remember like exactly, but there's 4 big river in Korea, in the whole country, and the government linked those 4 big rivers. It was very big project, and there's a lot of
But so making a canal between the rivers.
Yeah, but actually, the mayor of the Seoul, which made the Cheonggyecheon,
Yeah.
he became a president later
Yes.
and tried to
I
make
remember.
the canal with like the forest, but actually
I
it
have
didn't
heard
work.
about this.
Yeah, it didn't work because we have like such a lot of mountains and about like money, so he didn't make a canal in between, but he tried to make like a small dams in the each rivers.
Mhm.
So make like I think he tried to make a bigger like to contain more water on the river,
Mhm.
but there was lots of big constructions like getting rid of like the sands and etc. So it has a really had a very conflict about it. Yeah. Yeah. Go on.
I think somebody told me about that project at some point, that there was some kind of mad project about
Yeah.
making a canal connecting the river, but what for?
Yeah. Well,
it was for making job.
Yeah, I mean, but do you know, this is what some of my friends told me when Cheonggyecheon project appeared. They say, oh, you know, this mayor is part of some sort of construction company, whatever, and he wants to just produce jobs for construction companies. But so that is probably, I mean, the case of Cheonggyecheon was incredibly successful. I don't know. I don't know whether it's sustainable, even, to do this kind of, because as you said, Cheonggyecheon is fed with artificial water, so it's not natural water. It's not it's not the kind of real. So it's a little bit of a cosmetic, but it is a cosmetic project that has had an effect in terms of evapotranspiration and the reduction of heat island effects, which probably was nowhere near the guy the president or the mayor he probably didn't know what heat island effects was. It just happened that it had this very positive effect.
And I heard that project solves the problem of flood.
Cheonggyecheon?
Yeah.
Really?
No, not Cheonggyecheon, but that four river.
Oh, so the idea was that making that canal will resolve the problem of flooding in cities.
Yes. And
Why?
Because
it would retain the water.
Yeah.
But one thing is to retain the water, which I think may be more understandable, which is to build dams along the rivers so that the water is kept before it goes to the cities. And another thing is to connect them with a canal. What I don't understand is the project of connecting them.
Yeah, so they didn't do the connecting.
But they did some dams
Yeah.
to retain the water of the rivers.
yes.
Well, I mean, maybe I don't know. I mean, again, I don't know the particulars, but I think maybe that's. Nevertheless, when I talk about retention ponds or retaining the water, it's at a different scale. It's in the scale of the city rather than the kind of the scale of the country, no? Because who cares about retaining water in the rivers? That let the rivers flow as they naturally flow, unless the flow is disturbed by some city or some other artificial action. But the retention issue has more to do with the water runoff. So with the water that comes from the rain, and we basically channel it into ducts or asphalt surfaces that take the water out of the city, instead of keeping the natural humidity, which is what reduces the heat island effect. So in some ways, you know, the Cheonggyecheon by chance reduced the heat island effect. But that is not possible. I mean, I don't know. I think it's simply not effective to do that on the scale of the country. But it's not possible to retrieve the natural humidity in the Cheonggyecheon area without feeding it with kind of artificial water, basically making an artificial supply of water. We can no longer retrieve the natural stream because the environment has been so manipulated already that there is no way back. Or maybe there is. I mean, another thing that comes out of these discussions is that we cannot possibly, as architects or as urbanists, we need to find scientists. We need to find experts, thinking that you can just envision the city by talking about it or drawing it or imagining it visually is not going to get us anywhere. We need real knowledge about any of some of these things. So I wouldn't dare engaging in a project like this without consulting with water engineers and civil engineers and maybe scientists or building physics experts that could at least give us some intelligence about the specificity of the project. That's one of the good things about having a school of architecture inside of an engineering department, which doesn't happen in the United States, for example. In the States, architects are okay. So should we stop now, or is it not? No.
It's up to you.
No. I mean, I'm happy to keep discussing. I don't know. I don't like to force people to ask questions or make proposals. I mean, all these proposals are. I genuinely didn't expect this level of discussion after the sessions. I thought that I was going to give my speech and then you were going to say, don't look at me. I think it's very good that we have these discussions, and I encourage you to basically come up with anything. I mean, it's actually good for us to discuss these things, even if you're not sure whether that is going to be an interesting question. I wouldn't, because it kind of triggers the debate. So by all means, if you want to make proposals or ask questions, I think it's positive. It's positive for everybody in the group. Having said that, nobody wants to say anything.